What's good, guys? So we're here again. So this is my sixth trade, the number 6 when it comes to the challenge. So two things were wrong. Obviously, this was London session, and yeah, I entered rightly. I entered with the confirmation, BVA and everything, yes. But this was London session, and I neglected the change in trend. We were bullish. We have been bullish the previous day, but I was expecting that when we get to this 50 daily fib, that we were going down, but that failed. This was the reason behind the failure of this trade. Peace out. What's good, guys? So we're here again. This was the 7th trade of the challenge. So this trade fought a lot. So after having this BVN, I entered. Very wonderful SL, 9 pips, and we fought from 1:13 p.m. all through to around just almost 1 hour. We were fighting on this. Even at some point on SNES, on TradingView I was hit out, but on SNES I wasn't hit out. I allowed this, and until we were finally hit out here. Same thing, the trend was wrong. I was wrong on the trend. Yeah, the 4 hours already changed. We already had Bystra BVM breaking the 4 hours, so all attention should be focused on the bullish. If I had missed it earlier, if I had missed the entry, there should be no trade. So there should be no trade. So this was what I got wrong in this. Peace out. What's good, guys? So in this one, we had this BVN here, and the BVN came in at the right time at this point. So I entered based on this, and the only thing wrong with this was that the trend was wrong. Again, I did not pay attention to the 4 hours. The 4 hours said that the trend is bearish. So any other thing I'm doing, I am wrong. So this was what happened here, and I was wrong, obviously. But I think I am just noticing this now. I messed up even more. Whenever the market comes down and closes below the shoulder that initiated the trend, is it? Look at what happened here. We had a low, we had a high, we had a lower low, and a higher high. This guy should not come and close below this wick here, but it did, and this was what saved me in the first trade. But as I entered the trade, I was not paying attention anymore. Look at what happened. Low high, lower low. Now we had a higher high, low high, lower low. We had a higher high. Yes, let's assume I entered here. Now, for whatever reason, low high, lower low. Once you get this higher high here, this indicates that this market is now okay. So getting this wick dropping down here should be a no-no, because automatically the SL should come down here, although I'm working on that yet. I have not finalized that finding. So this guy here is totally wrong. It's totally wrong. So this was what made this trade fail, and the most important thing about 85% of why this trade failed was because of because the trend was against us. Otherwise this would have worked out. Okay, peace out. What's good, guys? So this is the 9th trade of the challenge. So we are almost getting to break even from the profits we made from the 1:11. But here it was another one that I did a mistake. This was 33 pips. The pips already was out of it. So max 15 pips, maximum 15 pips. So I took kind of double hit here. I took kind of double hits. So what I should have, yes, double hits, because this is 33 pips. So I took double hit and that was wrong. So yeah, we look forward. I don't want to beat so much about the bush on this trade because I know I messed up. Number two was the time. The time I entered this trade was around 4:16, 4:15. So it was a bit above my normal time. Anything around 4 is now danger zone. So this is something I have to also consider. So I'll record this trade in my journal as 2% loss rather than 1. So yeah, peace out. What's good, guys? It's Samuel FS here again. So this was my 10th trade for the 20 trade challenge. Now this trade was wrong, like in many ways. Firstly was that we had this candle close above this line. Let me expand this a bit so that we can see clearly. We have this candle. This candle started by 8:57 a.m. It closed above this line. This invalidated this setup. It invalidated it. Now look at how the BVN, this, I can't even call this a BVN. So this is totally wrong. Now let's say, okay, by mistake I took the trade. This was a high. If you look, if you check on the higher time frames, this was a high. This was a high. This was a low. Now this was a higher high, and now this candle that closed here formed a lower low. So nothing should, I mean, this should even be, I should have broken even at this point. Okay, let's see what's come to us, because immediately we had this lower low. At this point, some people entered, and this was what instigated, this also made this trend to go down. So nothing should make us close a candle above here again. Nothing should make us close, even not even close. A week of a candle coming above here shows that this setup is wrong. So already from the way we entered and everything, I knew that this is wrong. This is wrong. So, and I noticed this even after the trade, because I was like emotional and hungry to take a trade after not taking a trade for so long. But like my patience is growing, because I think this is the first time in a week I stayed for almost fourth day. Thursday was the fourth day that I have not taken any trade. I think I was so hungry to take this trade. I think I missed two opportunities. So I was so hungry to take a trade. So that was why I made this mistake. This is not part of my strategy, and it will never be. And this also comes to prove that my strategy works, because anything that invalidates it shows that it's not going to, the trade will not work out. So this was why I took a half risk on this, because I've come to notice that once the structure is broken, just imagine here. Just imagine here now. This is high, this is low, this is higher high, and this is lower low. Nothing should make a candle close above here if this setup is right. So if this setup is right, nothing should make a candle close above here. So exactly that was what it did. It came around here. When it came around here, it tanked down. So nothing again, if anything that brings anything around this side shows that this setup is strong, and shows that your SL is going to be definitely taken. Out of 10 times, 9 times this happens. So, and this is a probability game, and the number plays the game. So yeah, that was what happened here, and I lost out on this, but I lost half of my risk because of this principle. I said in my last episode that I'll start applying this principle, and it's working like magic. So high low, high low, immediately we break this low. The least we can do is to come back and test this guy. Around this guy, that is the end. Anything above here, you are on your own, because that money is just going to go. So I just pray for God to give me the mind to be placing my SL around here. Now, if I should do that, that will even cut my SL even more. Like, it will be like I'm risking nothing if I should try this, because that will bring my SL down to about 8, which is cutting it by almost 30%. So just imagine I'm risking normally 10 pips, and now I'm cutting it by almost 30%. That's a whole lot better. So yeah, so that was it. Peace out. What's good, guys? So today is Friday. I took this around 3 a.m. So actually by 3:10, 10 minutes after 3. Now, this was wrong. The trend was wrong. I think I was paying attention to the shift in trend, but I didn't actually pay very close attention to it. Now, at the point I was even entering to short was at the point that 4 hours became a full assurance or a more bigger assurance. Now, there was a confirmation already that up here that we are now bearish, but um this further confirms it. So, and what I should be even looking at is place I should enter for entry for shorts. So at this point, I was hoping to long. It was actually the point the market was turning around. So that was why this guy failed. But the SL was wonderful. It was wonderful. This was around 7 pips, and it could have been shorter than that if I apply this. Now watch it. Let's say I put this here. It has reduced it by 30%. And watch what happened here. If we go in line, okay, let's say this was a loss. The loss was reduced by 30% from 7 to 5. Now look at all through. Just follow my cursor. Now look at the point that this broke to show you how magical this strategy is. Look at the point that this thing broke, about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 candles came close to this first shoulder that is, far behind here, but never closed until we had this guy that broke it. So that shows you how magical this thing is. About 7 good candles. That shows you that this is the second incident I'm confirming this, taking this even more riskier step. That is the second shoulder. That's the second shoulder. So this is the second time now I'm taking notice of it, and I'm going to study it all throughout. Once I get 5 out of 7 or 8 out of 10, I'm going to work with it, and that means that it's higher risk. I love the progress here from taking a 50 pip SL, that is entering with the keys and giving it 50 pips from there, to scaling it down to 25 when I started entering with 5 minutes, to scaling it down to 10 when I started entering with a minute, to now what I'm looking at, which is around 7 or 8. I mean, this is like I'm being wicked to the market, but now I think I should do that. So if it's going to take my SL, it's going to take it. So I think the approach I'm going to take now is that I will lower my risk, then take as much trade as possible. Because if one of these things should turn out good, it's always very massive. So it's better I lower the risk and take as many as possible, granted the criteria meet. So I think that will pay more than avoiding and not taking. Okay. What's good, guys? So this is the 12th trade of the challenge, and this was a winner. So there was something I tried out on swing trading, and it didn't work out the way I planned it. Reason being that the SL was much, and so as the SL was much, making the trade making sense to me that I have to risk more. Now I observed that when the SL finally hit, it took a lot from my account. So, but that's aside, it's not part of this challenge. So this is one of the trades for the challenge, and this is the 12th trade using my strategy. And now the movable, I call it the movable fib, is working. So something I discovered around last week. So it's not a matter of you missing out the initial move in a trade. Let's say you didn't wake up by 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. to target your entries or all that. Or let's say just like the one that happened today, the highest point happened around 3:30 a.m. and it didn't meet my criteria for happening. But that doesn't mean that the trade did not work out. The trade worked out, but it did not meet my criteria for entry. So normally it should continue to go up, but it went down, and at the point it broke, it touched at the second shoulder that initiated that move. I knew that it was going down lower. So what did I do? I quickly looked for the 50 retracement or the 60 retracement of that whole move. Now I know that the trend has changed. I mean, this is being how do I call it? Being dynamic as the market. As the market is dynamic, be dynamic with it, change with it. Because now the whole thing is beginning to make sense. What even initiates the trade is if it meets certain criteria. Now I deal based on the daily, based on days, what I see based on the day. But if you check very well, this day is also a point in the charts. So it doesn't matter the day, it matters the structures and every other thing that surrounds it that makes it a successful trade. So this was what I noticed here. This was 1:8.1. Unlike me, I take 1:10, but due to the hit I took on my previous trade, the one I was testing out, I needed to recover. So I took this 1:8, and